Hello my friends, so today I'm going to teach you how to turn lights on and off, how to change their color, the intensity, all of that with a button. And before we begin, I want to show you something that I'm working on. I'm going to be starting a series of tutorials on how to use Bscript in Counter-Strike 2. Like for example, how to change the color of these chickens, green, blue, red, etc. And also how to rotate the sun. This is a very interesting function. Check it out, how the shadows are moving on the ground. Very nice. I'm going to be releasing also a map that will implement these features so that on each round there's a different sunlight settings. Like for example, the first round will be at 9 AM and then by round 12 it will be 6 PM maybe, and round 24 will take place in the middle of the night, like midnight for example. So lots of interesting stuff. I'm going to be starting this series, so don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, because I'm cooking all sorts of amazing stuff. There are no guys you're gonna love. So let's begin now with the tutorial on how to do with lighting. Let's have a look. There's this button, turns it on and off. This other one makes it warm, white, blue, lowers the intensity, and this one is super bright. Let's go into Hammer. What you will need is, first of all, to have a light entity, and this has to be a light Omni 2. We want to call it light. On light units, we are going to set it to EV because this is the way in which we're going to pass intensity. Minimum light, it will be -4, -3, all the way to 18. And then let's go into direct light. We want to disable it so that it starts turned off, and you want to make it dynamic. This is important. And be careful because dynamic Omni 2 take up 6 dynamic shadow slots. Here you have all the information. These lights are very expensive in terms of the Source 2 engine, so you don't want to abuse them. You just want to use a couple of these, maybe, for an Easter egg or something like that. Be careful and mindful of how many dynamic lights you're going to be using. And one very important thing, you need to go up here, and then we have this setting, create client only entity. You want to set it to no. Obviously, we want this setting to be shared across all users, so servers, they need to be informed that a light was turned off or on, and notify all players. Another reason there, do not abuse these dynamic lights. So now you're going to create a brush with the block tool, press enter, then Control T, now it's a trigger, I'll double click it and make it a funk bottom. Spawn flags, damage activates, and do not move, I don't want it to move. And on outputs, you're going to add on damage or on pressed, depending on what you want. Target the entity, light, and here you have all the options, like set brightness, set color temperature, as well as toggle right there. So I already have all these buttons right here. So the first one that turns it on and off, on damage, targets light, toggle. Then we have this button that basically changes the color to a value of 1500, which is warm. Then this other button changes the color temperature to 7000, white, and finally this one to cold or blue, 15000. And then we have these other buttons to change the intensity, so set light brightness to 10, very high, then to 0.5, normal, and then to -1 so that it's very, very dim. And because it's a dynamic light, you cannot see the changes in real time when not lighting, so you might want to duplicate the light and make it static. And now you can see, the intensity, the color temperature changes, the fall off, and the brightness as well. Obviously, before you compile, you delete that light, and that's it. That's how you get this light to work in the Source 2 engine in Counter-Strike 2. Change temperature, change intensity, turn it on and off, very dim light. So yes, my dear friends, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you liked this tutorial and that it was useful to you. It's the one that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And don't forget to subscribe again for the Bscript series that I'm going to be releasing in the following days. Lots of interesting stuff. As I'm learning, I'm going to be teaching you, so subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and see you around. Take care.